Hello, Namaste, welcome back to Dharma Decoded. Today we are trying to explore the fascinating worlds of universal teaching across different religions. You know, every religion out there has its own unique beliefs and practices. But guess what? There are some core themes that seem to resonate across all major world religions, suggesting a common thread of shared human values and experiences. It's pretty mind blowing, right? Now let's take a deep dive into one of the most epic sagas of all time, the Mahabharata, and focus on that epic relationship between Arjuna and Krishna as seen in the Bhagavad Gita. This tale is a true reflection of the human struggle we all face at some point in our lives. Arjuna, our valiant and virtuous warrior, is put in an impossible situation. He is supposed to fight in the Kurukshetra war against his very own relatives, teachers, and loved ones. Can you imagine the moral dilemma he is dealing with? It's intense. This dilemma reflects the inner conflicts we often encounter when our sense of duty or dharma clashes head on with our emotions and ethical principles. Enter Krishna, the ultimate divine voice and the charioteer, friend, and guide to Arjuna. Krishna talks not just about duty but also about spirituality, ethics, and life. The teachings Krishna imparts to Arjuna is the backbone of the Bhagavad Gita. It's some real ancient wisdom right there. Okay, now let's talk about some key takeaways from this epic conversation that holds true across various religious and philosophical systems. First up, we have got follow your dharma. Krishna tells Arjuna that as a warrior, it's his duty to fight in the battle, even if it means going up against his own kin. But it teaches us the importance of fulfilling our duties, even when it's hard as nails. You can find similar principles in Christianity. For example, doing one's duty is seen as a form of obedience to God's commandments. In Islam, duties are defined as a set of religious practices, the 5 pillars of Islam. Stoicism also talks about duties in the form of living in agreement with nature and contributing to society, which reflects the societal roles we play. Next up, Nishkama Karma, aka selfless action. Krishna advises Arjuna to perform his duties without getting hung up on the results. In other words, do your best but don't get attached to the outcome. This concept is pretty darn familiar in Buddhism, where they're all about cutting that attachment to avoid suffering. And hey, even the Stoics knew a thing or two about focusing on what's within their control. Now let's talk about the surrender. Krishna urges Arjuna to surrender all his actions to God, freeing him from the shackles of karma. Surrendering and having faith, you can find this theme in Christianity. It's often referred to as to let go and to let God. In Islam, the very meaning of the word Islam is submission or surrender to the will of God. And while Stoicism might not be theistic, it also promotes a surrender to the flow of life. Another gem of wisdom from Krishna. Practice meditation. He tells Arjuna to get into yoga and meditation for that sweet peace and self-realization. Mindfulness and meditation practices can be found in Buddhism. It's Vipassana. Christianity, it's contemplative prayer. Islam, it's Sufi meditative or Muraqabah, and many other traditions. Stoicism also has meditative practices in the form of contemplation and self-reflection, such as the practice of journaling as done by Marcus Aurelius. Lastly, Krishna says, see the divine in all. He reveals his cosmic form to Arjuna, showing that the divine is in every living being and all things. In Christianity and Islam, it's seen as seeing the work of God in everything. In Buddhism, there is the understanding of the interdependence and interconnectedness of all beings. Stoicism also echoes this idea with the concept called sympathia. Krishna, the ultimate guide, doesn't make the tough decisions for Arjuna. Instead, he provides wisdom and guidance, leaving it up to Arjuna to take the reins. That's a powerful lesson for all of us. Sometimes you gotta make your own choices and deal with the consequences. To wrap it all up, being like Arjuna means facing life's challenges with courage, fulfilling our duties with dedication, and not getting hung up on the results. And let's not forget having faith in something bigger than ourselves and showing respect for all forms of life. So, even though these teachings come from different cultural and historical backgrounds, they carry some universal wisdom about duty, detachment, surrender, mindfulness, and interconnectedness. It's pretty cool to see how these ideas transcend time and space, don't you think? Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to keep up with all interesting stuff we are decoding here. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking.